Hello, welcome back. Issue number 6 of Combat Patrol. We have the Barbgaunts. Now, I've already assembled these, but I recorded the assembly and I will add that to the end of the video. Now, to be fair, these are the easiest to assemble models I think I've ever had, except for maybe some of the two-part skeletons from Age of Sigmar. These are all push fit. I assembled all 5 of these in 11 minutes. So very, very straightforward. You can't go wrong. Very, very straightforward. So like I say, I'll add like a little time-lapse video of the assembly at the end of the video. But yeah, there'll be no talking through it or anything like that. I might give a few of my views on the models and that kind of thing, but it won't be a build guide. You'll just be watching me build it. But honestly, these are the easiest to assemble models you could possibly hope for. So very, very straightforward. They're all in 4 parts, and we'll talk about it a little bit when we get to the build section. This will be the last time I butt in this video, I promise. Just wanted to say a very quick thank you to all my subscribers. So I just reached the milestone the other day of 4,000 subscribers. I know it's not a huge number in YouTubing terms or anything like that, but I'm very, very proud of it. It's taken me a long time to get to that number, and I had some kind of fairly rapid growth with the channel when it first started, and then had a bit of a lull up until the last couple of months. And yeah, a massive thank you to anyone who's subscribed, new or old. And if you haven't subscribed, you'd make me very happy. Hit that little button. Thanks very much, guys. Let's get on with the video. But here we have issue 6. I have literally, the day before this goes live, uploaded my review of issue number 5. So that is for our exclusive Space Marine Sergeant, or Infernus Marine Sergeant. So yeah, literally that has gone live the day before this video, so you can go back and check that out. I've covered in that a build guide for the Infernus Sergeants and the battle report from that issue as well. I haven't yet reviewed issue number 4. The reason for that is I wanted to review issue 5 in the week that it was still out, and I wanted to get issue 6 uploaded for the day it goes live in stores. So hopefully I can edit this quick enough and get it out. But that's enough of the introductions and all that sort of stuff. The one thing that's going to be changing for my videos is currently, or previously, I've done building and battle reports on my videos. I'm going to continue to do the building stuff. If it's push fit and that kind of thing, I'm just going to kind of do what I'm going to do at the end of this video. Basically just do a bit of a time lapse of the actual building of them. If it's very, very simple and straightforward, I'm not going to put together a guide for it or anything like that. But if it's a little bit more in depth, obviously I will. But I'm going to start doing all the battle reports separately. So the next video I do after issue 5 is I'll come back and do issue number 4. And then I'll do a bit of a recap of the collection so far. And then I'll be doing a battle report video where I'll cover every single battle report from issues 1 to 6. Okay, and then once a month, I'll do a battle report video, and it will cover all of the battle reports that are featured in that month's delivery. So that set of 4 issues, I'll do all the battle reports in one go. The first one, I'll do all 6 to date, just to kind of to keep us whole, to get us started, and not have any dribs and drabs. So that is the plan for going forward. If you've got any opinions on that, you want me to do it any other different ways, by all means, jump in the comments and let me know. Whatever you prefer, I'd happily go for. But what I don't like doing is trying to rush out battle report videos and all that kind of stuff. I'd rather give each individual issue its own place in the sun and go for it properly, rather than trying to rush through videos with too much different types of content. I hope that makes sense. Any opinions on that, please, I want to hear them in the comments. So yeah, certainly let me know your opinions on that. But let's go through issue number 6. So we'll have a look at the models in a minute. Okay. Unleash a barrage of alien firepower with the Barbgaunts. This issue gives you a heavily armed unit of Tyranids, plus the rules to use all of your models' ranged attacks on the battlefield. You'll also get to learn more about the Emperor, the Hive Fleets, the First Tyrannic War, and more. Happy hobbying. Okay, so this is the sort of build section. And you can see that each individual piece, so parts 1 to 4 makes the first one, 5 to 8, second one, 9 to 12, 13 to 16, 17 to 20. So they all go in numerical fours, and basically each part is an upper torso, a set of legs, a weapon, and a third leg to prop it on. So they've all got 3 legs. But yeah, it's honestly so straightforward to build. These were really, really easy and fun to put together, to be fair. Yeah. So all very, very cool. They all look pretty much identical. Can't really see much detail on these when they're not painted. I'm honestly a little bit scared of painting. I'm thinking about doing a video about that soon. I get major anxiety when it comes to getting the paint brushes out. I don't know why, but yeah, I suffer with anxiety a little bit anyway. But certainly when it comes to getting the paints out, I don't know what's wrong. I've got a bit of a block there. But there you go. Having said that, I do intend to do some painting. I'm going to paint all my stuff as Silver Templars. Speaking of which, here's the paint guide. So our Barbgaunts, loads of Wraithbone all over the model, and then a little bit of the Battle of Mcra burgundy. Cool, straightforward. Okay, the Emperor of Mankind. The Emperor is the most powerful Psyker to have ever lived. His presence is a light that guides ships through the darkness of the warp, and he is worshipped as a god across the Imperium. It is better to die for the Emperor than to live for yourself. The Emperor is an almost mythical figure in the Imperium. His power can be felt everywhere, from the beacon of psychic energy that guides ships through the warp to strange miracles experienced by his most zealous followers, to his greatest creation, the Space Marines. Imperial citizens worship the Emperor without question. Even in the heat of battle, they pray to him for guidance. To defy the will of the Emperor is to commit heresy, for which the sentence is death. So you better listen to him. He's like an evil Santa. Okay, the Golden Throne. The people of the Imperium think the Emperor is eternal and immortal. The truth is far darker. The Emperor is a mere husk, kept alive by the techno-arcane artifact known as the Golden Throne. Every day 1,000 Psykers must be sacrificed, and their power consumed by the Emperor to keep him alive. It's pretty selfish of him, I think, to be fair. The Emperor may be powerful, but he is a shadow of his former self. Betrayed millennia ago in a great war against chaos, he is now all but dead. What little life remains in the Emperor's shattered form is preserved by the Golden Throne, a colossal artifact that feeds strange chemicals and the life force of sacrificed Psykers directly into the Emperor. The Master of Mankind hangs on the brink of death. Few truly understand how the Golden Throne works, and were it to falter, the Emperor would perish. If this was to happen, the Imperium would be plunged into darkness. Warp travel would be made impossible, and each of the million worlds of the Imperium would fall in a tide of mutants, heretics, and demons from the very depths of the realm of chaos. Very, very grim. Okay, moving on to the Hive Fleet's Terrors of the Stars. There is no known Tyranid homeworld, only vast predatory fleets of biological warships that reach into the galaxy like tendrils of a great kraken. These are the Hive Fleets, the spearhead of the Tyranid invasion. Each Hive Fleet consists of countless biological warships, each a vast living organism that is capable of traversing the inhospitable void of space. The Hive Fleets are highly adaptable, and each has developed its own unique biological weapons and specialized ways of waging war. The Tyranids of Hive Fleet Gorgon, for example, use genetic toxins to kill any enemy or organisms for the Hive fleet. Tiamat are particularly psychically potent. Hive fleets roam the galaxy in search of biomass. Anything in their way is consumed, and its biomass is used to create more Tyranid beasts as the fleet continues its expansion. Hive fleets have even been known to battle one another on occasion. This strengthens the hive mind by allowing it to test new adaptations in battle against itself. The victor will then absorb the biomass and the best traits of its foe, using them in future battles to great effect. Okay, so and then there's a couple of different units of the Tyranids. Hive Fleet Leviathan is the largest of the hive fleets. The psychic network that links the bioforms in this hive fleet together is incredibly strong, allowing them to fight with preternatural coordination and cunning. Hive Fleet Leviathan constantly adapts its strategies to most effectively slay and devour its unfortunate victims. Now here's the Behemoth. Hive Fleet Behemoth is notorious for its brutal tactics. Any faced with this hive fleet must weather wave upon wave of clawed hunters. Behemoth then finishes the exhausted defenders with a crushing assault from the largest Tyranid bioforms. Not even death can stop the Hive Fleet Behemoth's greatest beasts. When slain, they collapse into death throes, slashing and tearing at anyone nearby. And then Kraken. Hive Fleet Kraken is notorious for its use of devious tactics. Even by the standards of the Tyranids, they are masters of ambushes, unexpected strikes and flanking maneuvers. Even a momentary weakness can prove fatal when fighting this hive fleet, for it will dispatch rapid response troops to exploit any gap in the enemy's defences that it can find. Okay, now we've got the next section is the First Tyrannic War. Yeah, let's read through it. For millennia, the Imperium was beset on all sides. It was thought that humanity's fate could grow no darker. The First Tyrannic War proved this to be untrue. It was here that the Imperium first encountered the true scale of the Tyranid swarm in a conflict that saw the Ultramarines brought to the brink of destruction. The Tyranids have been a mysterious and deadly opponent since their very first contact with the Imperium in the Battle of Tyran. Striking from seemingly nowhere, the first Tyranid invasion fleets tore through the Imperial space unhindered, leaving barren, broken worlds in their wake. Planet after planet fell, with the Imperium unable to stop this new threat. The Tyranids were finally halted at the Battle of Mcra, a planet-spanning conflict on the Ultramarines' homeworld that almost saw the chapter destroyed. However, this was not the end for the Tyranids or the Tyrannic Wars. It took years for Mcra and the Ultramarines to recover from the carnage wrought by the Tyranids. Meanwhile, splinter fleets and remnants of Hive Fleet Behemoth, the invasion fleet that first attacked Tyran, can still be found across the galaxy. The First Tyrannic War was just a precursor for the horrors to come. Okay, so part of that war, the Battle for Mcra. It was a bold maneuver by the Imperium that ended the First Tyrannic War. Pre-warned of the oncoming swarm, the Ultramarines, along with starships of the Imperial Navy and the battle titans of the Adeptus Mechanicus, prepared for a desperate defence. As the Tyranid bioships battled the Imperium above Mcra, Ultramarines, Space Marines on the surface below fought for survival. The most courageous actions were taken by the First Company, who with a mere handful of soldiers held the planet's polar fortress against a seemingly endless tide of Tyranids. In the end they fell, but in the process saved their world from being overwhelmed. It would be centuries before the Ultramarines truly recovered. And behold, the Swarm Lord. The Battle of Mcra was the first time the Swarm Lord was recorded amongst the Tyrannic forces. The Swarm Lord is a warrior organism without compare, but its greatest strength is its sinister alien genius. At the head of the swarms on Mcra, the Swarm Lord was able to outthink even the legendary Marneus Calgar and launch devastating feints, counterattacks, and flanking maneuvers. Okay, so now we actually get to learn a little bit about our Barbgaunts. We have already received a datasheet for this that came with issue 3. Barbgaunts are akin to living gun turrets. Symbiotically linked to huge barb launchers, these creeping horrors provide fire support for the Tyranid swarm. They launch explosive spines at their foes, which detonate into blizzards of bone shards, leaving even space marines disoriented and reeling. Okay, so it's got a little bit of a background table and all that kind of stuff to name our units and all that sort of stuff. I don't do any of that. We do get a look at their data sheet though. So what have we got? So the barb launcher, 24-inch range, D6 attacks. So that is a lot. That is the same as the Infernus Marines. Ballistic skill of 4 up, a strength of 5. I think that mirrors the Infernus Marines very closely as well. Damage 1, no armor piercing. And then they have a melee weapon as well, chitinous claws and teeth. Okay, so 1 attack, weapon skill of 4 and a strength of 4. Okay, yeah, pretty good. Melee is rubbish, to be fair, but those barb launchers are brilliant. They have blast and heavy keywords as well. Movement of 6, toughness is 4, saves on a 4 up, 2 wounds each, leadership of 8, objective control of just 1. It is of the Synapse faction, and it has disruption bombardment. In your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, select 1 enemy infantry unit hit by 1 or more of those attacks. Till the end of your opponent's next turn, that enemy unit is disrupted. While a unit is disrupted, subtract 2 from its move characteristic and subtract 2 from its advance and charge rolls made for it. Ooh. Yeah. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, yeah. Cool, very good. Okay, then we get into our play section. So, as I said, there won't be a playthrough today, but there will be a big long video featuring all of the playthroughs for the first 6 issues. And that will be out in probably a week to 2 weeks. There'll be another kind of a video about the collection and all that kind of stuff between now and then, as well as the issue 4 review. But yeah, all of those playthroughs will come together in one go. Okay, live fire operation. The Tyranids are on the hunt. Across the ruins of a long abandoned starship, countless hunter organisms awaken in response to sinister psychic imperatives. It falls to the scattered space marines to mount a defense and to hold on to their existing beachhead. Should they fail, their mission may well be lost before it has even begun. Space Marines are flexible warriors who are trained to respond to changing circumstances on the battlefield with a range of strategies. Confronted by growing Tyranid numbers, the Ultramarines have opted to use the same strategy that secured them the victory in the First Tyrannic War, forming a defensive bastion and drawing the Tyranids into a lethal killing field. In this case, using Infernus Marines to create an impassable wall of flame. However, the hive mind has since adapted to the Ultramarines' tactics and will not be caught out by the same trick twice. It has dispatched several broods of Barbgaunts to key choke points. Each brood is directly slaved to the will of the hive mind, and each is intended to inflict as much damage on the Space Marines as possible while the Imperial forces consolidate their troops. To delay and fight these Barbgaunts means being caught in the encroaching swarm, and so the Infernus Marines must instead try to push through as fast as they can. As one brood of Barbgaunts takes position, they sight a group of Infernus Marines and take aim. So, Scenario 2, live fire operation. So gather your data sheets, how to win. In this mission, your goal is to use the Barbgaunts to shatter the Infernus Marines before they can escape. You must slay 3 Infernus Marines for the Tyranids to win. If 3 or more escape, the Space Marines win. And then it goes through the sequences. We'll cover all this in the playthrough another time. I think you're just trying to stop the Infernus Marines from traversing the board. So effectively 4 moves. So you've got to attack them and try and kill 3 in that time. Okay, cool. Then it goes on to a little bit more information about ranged weapons and shooting. Again, just kind of reading through the data sheets and how to work out what your shooting is. So again, going back to the Pyre-Blaster, which is very much like the Barbgaunts weapons here. D6, although there's no ballistic skill on that one, but they do have a strength 5 as well. So very nice. It's got information about splitting fire as well, so you can choose how many attacks you want to go into how many different units. So you've got these Barbgaunts here, some attacks going into the Infernus Marines, some going into the captain now. A single weapon must always fire at the target, regardless of how many attacks it was. Here a Barbgaunt targets the captain and fires 2 shots, while another targets the Infernus Marines and fires 3 shots. You cannot split fire from the same weapon. This Barbgaunt has 5 attacks, but could not, for example, assign 3 to the Infernus Marines and 2 to the captain. So basically, however, if you've got, let's say you've got your 5 Barbgaunts there, and let's say that you roll a dice for each of them. If you want to split your attacks, let's say you want to use these 2 to fight an Infernus Marine there, and then you want this 3 to fight maybe a captain that's here. When you roll for your d6 shots, you roll 2d6 for these ones to go for that assault, and then you roll the other 3 for these ones, the other one into the captain. You couldn't roll them all as a pool once and then decide which ones were going to be used for what, which I think is pretty cool, because it means that you're making your decisions ahead of time and not kind of reacting to luck and that kind of thing. Okay, so that's it. So what have we got next? So it's going to be a while until we get another review, except for issue 4, which will be coming out, because I got this delivered a couple of days ago. So I'll be waiting for my next set of 4 issues. And the first one will be, well, the first 2, issues 7 and 8, they will be about the Termagants, because you get Termagants in each of those. I might even combine them both into one review. I don't know, we'll see. I'm very much looking forward to it. Does look cool. So thanks guys for watching, much appreciated. Hang around now if you want to watch the time lapse of me building these Barbgaunts, which are a lot of fun. They're very, very easy to put together. So yeah, and as usual, you know, subscribe and all that sort of stuff. It really helps the channel out, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching, guys.